In the quiet corners of American homes, something waits. It does not hunt us. It does not chase. It prefers the dark, the undisturbed, the forgotten spaces between boxes and baseboards. Yet when human skin meets its fangs, usually by accident, the consequences can be catastrophic. This is not the Black Widow with its dramatic red hourglass. This is quieter, smaller, more ordinary looking, and in the worst cases, far more destructive to living tissue. This is Loxosceles Reclusa, the Brown Recluse Spider. For decades, it has carried a reputation that borders on legend. Some of that reputation is exaggerated. Much of it is not. The truth is this: while bites are uncommon and most are mild, a minority of envenomations produce progressive tissue death, open wounds that refuse to heal for months, and, in rare but documented cases, especially in children, there can be systemic collapse that can be fatal. For the next few minutes, we're going to show you exactly why this spider deserves your respect, and why, if you live in its range, you should never ignore the dark spaces in your own home. If you want to protect your family and learn the truth behind one of America's most misunderstood threats, stay with us until the end. And if this opens your eyes, subscribe to Animal Crimez channel and turn on notifications, because the next time you reach into a closet or put on a shoe, you'll want to know what we reveal next. The Brown Recluse Spider is not large. It is not brightly colored. It carries none of the theatrical markings of the Black Widow. Adults typically measure between 6 and 20 millimeters in body length, roughly the size of a pencil eraser to a small nickel. When the long, slender legs are included, the spider may span the width of a quarter, but the body itself remains modest. Its color ranges from pale tan to a richer chocolate brown, often with a slightly darker abdomen. The texture of the body is covered in fine, short hairs that give it a velvety appearance under magnification. There are no dramatic spines or bold banding on the legs. The legs themselves are long, thin, and relatively uniform in color, ending in 2 small claws. The feature most people recognize is the dark marking on the cephalothorax, the fused head and thorax. It forms a distinct violin or fiddle shape, with the neck of the instrument pointing toward the abdomen. In good lighting and on mature specimens, this marking is clear. In younger spiders, or under poor light, it can be faint or incomplete. Relying on the violin alone has led countless people to misidentify completely harmless spiders. The single most reliable way to identify a true brown recluse is the eyes. Most spiders have 8 eyes arranged in 2 neat rows. The brown recluse has only 6, grouped in 3 pairs. 1 pair sits in the center, with 2 more pairs positioned slightly to the sides and back, forming a gentle arc. This arrangement is shared by other members of the genus Loxosceles, but it is rare among the spiders commonly found in North American homes. Under a magnifying glass or a good photograph, the difference is unmistakable. Males and females look similar, though females are generally larger and more robust. Males possess enlarged pedipalps, the small appendages near the mouth, used in mating. Both sexes are capable of delivering a medically significant bite, though females often carry a slightly larger venom reserve. The brown recluse belongs to the family Secretive, a group of spiders known for their potent necrotic venoms. Its scientific name, Loxosceles reclusa, is fitting. Loxosceles refers to the angled appearance of the legs, while reclusa means hidden or recluse. Everything about this animal's design and behavior reinforces that name. It is not built for speed or aggression. Its movements are deliberate, almost hesitant. When disturbed, it usually tries to escape rather than confront. Yet this very reluctance to be seen is what places it so effectively inside human spaces. It does not need to be large or flashy. It only needs to remain unnoticed until the moment human skin presses against it. That quiet, ordinary appearance is part of what makes the brown recluse so unsettling. It does not look like a monster. It looks like something you might casually brush aside until the consequences begin. The brown recluse is a master of absence. In the wild, it lives exactly as its name suggests, hidden, under flat rocks, beneath the loose bark of dead trees, inside hollow logs, and among the deep layers of leaf litter. It constructs small, irregular silk retreats. These are not the elegant, geometric webs of orb weavers. They are messy, three-dimensional shelters of disordered threads where the spider rests during the day and where the female will later deposit her egg sacs. When humans build houses, the brown recluse finds an improved version of its natural world. Dry, dark, undisturbed spaces multiply. Attics that bake in summer and freeze in winter, unfinished basements, the voids behind baseboards and drywall, the backs of closets packed with seasonal clothing, cardboard boxes left for years, the quiet spaces under furniture, and the interiors of shoes, gloves, and folded blankets. Few spiders tolerate the extremes of temperature and long periods without food or water as successfully as the brown recluse. Laboratory observations and field reports show that individuals can survive many months, sometimes more than a year, without a meal. They endure the stifling heat of unconditioned attics and the cold of unheated crawl spaces. This resilience allows populations to persist year after year inside the same structure, often completely unnoticed. They are strictly nocturnal. By day they remain motionless inside their retreats. At night they leave to hunt. Unlike web-building spiders that wait for prey to come to them, the brown recluse is an active forager and scavenger. It moves slowly across floors and walls in search of small insects, other spiders, and whatever edible arthropods it can overpower or find already dead. Its hunting style is methodical rather than explosive. This nocturnal wandering is the moment of greatest risk for humans. A spider that has left its retreat may crawl into a shoe left on the floor, slip between the folds of clothing draped over a chair, or climb into bedding. When a person later puts on that shoe, pulls on those pants, or rolls over in bed, the spider is suddenly trapped against bare skin and responds the only way it knows, by biting. The fangs are short. Clothing, even thin fabric, often prevents envenomation. But where skin is exposed and pressure is applied, the result can be a medically significant bite. Importantly, these encounters are almost never the product of aggression. The spider does not seek human contact. It does not chase. It bites only when it perceives an immediate threat, usually the crushing weight of a sleeping body or a foot sliding into a shoe. In the core of its range, stretching from southern Nebraska and Iowa southward through Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas, and eastward into parts of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and northern Georgia, homes can support large numbers of these spiders. The true weapon of the brown recluse is invisible. Its fangs deliver only a tiny volume of venom, often less than a drop. Yet, that microscopic dose contains one of the most destructive biological agents found in any North American spider. The venom is both cytotoxic and hemolytic. It does not primarily attack the nervous system the way a black widow's does. It attacks living tissue itself. At the heart of this venom is an enzyme called sphingomyelinase D. This molecule is rare in the animal kingdom. Outside of a few related spiders and certain pathogenic bacteria, it is almost unknown. Sphingomyelinase D targets a critical component of cell membranes called sphingomyelin. When it cleaves that molecule, the structural integrity of the cell begins to fail. Skin cells, fat cells, and the endothelial cells lining blood vessels start to die. But the damage does not stop with direct toxicity. The enzyme also triggers a powerful cascade of the body's own immune responses. Complement proteins are activated. Neutrophils, the white blood cells that normally fight infection, are drawn aggressively to the site. Once there, they release enzymes and reactive oxygen species that further destroy surrounding tissue. In effect, the venom turns the victim's immune system into an accomplice. The body begins to attack itself in the area of the bite. This is why the wound can continue to expand for days or even weeks after the spider is long gone. The venom initiates a process that the body then amplifies. The most unsettling quality of a brown recluse bite is how little it announces itself at the beginning. The fangs are short and fine. The volume of venom injected is small. Most people feel nothing at the moment of the bite, or at most a faint pinprick that is instantly forgotten. There is no sharp, electric pain, no immediate swelling, no dramatic reaction that would cause someone to cry out or search for the source. The spider is usually long gone before the victim has any idea that something has happened. Hours pass. Somewhere between 2 and 8 hours later, the first signs appear. A small red mark develops at the site. It may look like an ordinary insect bite or a mild irritation. Then the pain begins, not suddenly, but as a deepening ache or a burning sensation that grows more insistent. The area becomes tender to the touch. Mild swelling may follow. In many cases, a blister forms, sometimes filled with clear fluid. By 12 to 24 hours, a more distinctive pattern often emerges. The center of the lesion may turn pale or take on a bluish hue. Around it forms a narrow ring of whitish, ischemic tissue, skin that is being starved of blood. Outside that ring spreads a broader zone of redness and inflammation. Doctors sometimes call this the red, white, and blue sign. It is not present in every case, but when it appears, it is a warning that the injury is progressing beyond a simple local reaction. If the envenomation is going to produce significant necrosis, the center of the wound usually darkens further within 48 to 96 hours. The tissue turns purple, then black. A hard, dry eschar, the classic black scab of dead skin, begins to form. At this stage, the pain can become severe, a constant throbbing or burning that interferes with sleep and daily activity. The surrounding inflammation may continue to spread even as the center dies. Not every bite follows this path. Many remain mild. The redness fades. The discomfort passes within a few days. No blister forms, or the blister heals without deeper damage. These cases require little more than basic wound care and observation. But a meaningful minority, estimated in clinical series at roughly 10%, continue to worsen. The necrotic process, once fully underway, is no longer driven solely by the venom itself. The body's own inflammatory response takes over, recruiting immune cells that release further destructive enzymes. The wound can expand for days or even weeks after the spider's contribution has ended. What began as an almost unnoticed event can become an open ulcer that refuses to close. The skin and underlying fat die and slough away, leaving a crater that heals slowly from the edges and bottom. When healing finally occurs, it frequently leaves a permanent, sunken scar. The quiet beginning is what makes the brown recluse bite so deceptive. There is no dramatic moment of attack to mark the start of the problem. There is only a delayed and progressive unfolding, one that can turn a forgotten pinprick into an ordeal lasting months. The brown recluse is not found everywhere. Its established range is limited to parts of the central and southern United States. Outside that range, the vast majority of brown recluse bites diagnosed by physicians are misidentifications of other conditions, bacterial infections, other arthropod bites, or unrelated skin diseases. Within the range, risk is real but manageable. Prevention is straightforward and effective. Reduce clutter in closets, attics, and basements. Shake out clothing, shoes, and bedding before use. Seal cracks and gaps where spiders enter. Use gloves when handling stored items or firewood. Consider professional pest management in heavily infested structures. If a bite is suspected, clean the area with soap and water, apply ice, elevate the limb, and seek medical evaluation promptly, especially if pain worsens. The lesion darkens or systemic symptoms appear. There is no widely available specific antivenom in the United States for L. Reclusa. Treatment is supportive, wound care, pain control, monitoring for hemolysis, and management of complications. Do not rely on internet photographs or folklore. Capture the spider if possible for expert identification. Many conditions mimic recluse bites. Accurate diagnosis matters. The brown recluse does not seek us out. It does not deserve the cartoonish reputation of a deliberate killer. Yet its venom is capable of destroying tissue in a way few other North American spiders can match. Most encounters end without drama. A minority do not. In the regions where this spider lives, the prudent response is neither panic nor complacency. It is awareness. It is respect for a creature that thrives in the same spaces we inhabit, armed with a chemical weapon evolved for far smaller prey, but fully capable of harming us when the rare, accidental meeting occurs. Know its range. Know its appearance. Know the signs of a serious bite. And never assume that something so small, so quiet, and so ordinary cannot leave a permanent mark. The recluse waits in the dark. The wise do not invite it closer. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary and would like to explore more incredible stories about wildlife and the natural world, be sure to like this video, subscribe to Animal Crimez channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.